Hello everyone, myself Dr. Antarip. Today we are going to start with excretory process of class 10, that is excretion, human excretion. Plus, let's focus in this diagram. It's mentioned in your NCERT. Here you can see the excretory organs which are there. They are the kidneys. We have one pair of kidneys, that is two. Now, the various blood vessels are mentioned here, renal artery. You always remember, okay, the artery is always colored in blue. In your exam, whenever you draw something, just if the structure is artery, then draw it like blue. And in artery it is red. Sorry, you have to color the artery as red and the vein as blue. So for remembering purpose, VB vein for blue and AR artery is red. Okay. Now let's come to this paragraph. We have already discussed how organisms get rid of gaseous waste generated during photosynthesis and respiration and other metabolic activities like nitrogenous materials which need to be removed. The biological process involved in the removal of this harmful metabolic waste from the body is called excretion. The definition of excretion is mentioned here. Excretion is simply the waste products. We have already discussed about various cellular activities occurring in our body, and from those activities harmful materials are formed. So from these harmful materials, if they stay in our body, it will be very toxic and ultimately lead to death. For simple example, you just think in your home. If you do not clean your home, many dirty materials, many dust particles, etc., have accumulated and it's become unlivable. So you have to clean your home time to time. Likewise, we need to clean our body time to time, but this system is automated, and this is called excretion. And excretion is done by our kidneys, which are two in number. And from the kidneys, ureters of emerge. Two kidneys, two ureters. Now these two ureters combine in one urinary bladder. In the urinary bladder, they store urine, and after a threshold level, that means after a certain level, it will exert pressure and this nerve stimulation will occur, and this nerve will go to our brain and it will signal the sphincteric muscles and hours of urination will come. But these interests are voluntary, so you can control your urination to the outside, that is micturition. Okay, have you understood till now? I hope this has been simplified as much I could. Okay, now just start the next line. Different organisms use varied strategies to this. Many cellular organisms remove this waste by simple diffusion from the body surface into the surrounding water. The simple organisms which we have read about, various unicellular organisms. These unicellular organisms directly throw the materials by diffusion. Okay. And as we have seen in other processes, complex multicellular organisms are specialized organs to perform the same function. Now, excretion in human beings. This is the human excretory system, and you have to draw this whenever they ask you about excretion. The excretory system of human beings includes a pair of kidneys, a pair of ureters, urinary bladder, a urethra. You have to remember various parts of our excretory system or various organs involved. Okay, many organs. You just remember this one. This flow diagram I have taught you in the previous videos. The flow diagram you should remember. Cell organelle, a cell, tissue, organ, organ system. So this organ system includes various organ systems. Likewise, excretion is a part of this organ system, and various organs are there. These organs are kidneys, ureters, etc. So it should be very, very clear, and you should not confuse. You should not get confused between organ, organ system, etc. So remember this flowchart in your future. Kidneys are located in the abdomen, one in other side of the backbone, and urine produced in the kidneys passes through the ureters into the urinary bladder, where it is stored until it is released through the urethra. Finally, it is released through urethra. How urine is produced? The purpose of making urine is to filter out waste products from the blood, as I have already told you. Just as CO2 is removed from the blood in the lungs, nitrogenous waste such as urea, uric acid. What are these nitrogenous wastes? These are urea and uric acid. These are two different entities, okay? You should not get confused. Urea, uric acid are removed from the blood in the kidneys. It is then no surprise that the basic filtration unit in kidneys, what will be? I told you earlier, it is nephron. Like the lungs, a cluster of very thin-walled blood capillaries. Its capillary cluster in the kidneys associated with cup-shaped end of coil tube called Bowman's capsule that collects the filtrate. Okay, this unit is nephron, and this is the structure of nephron. The unit is nephron. You have to remember nephron, okay? Each kidney has a large number of these filtration units called nephrons packed close together. Many nephrons are packed close together. Some substances in the initial filtrate, such as glucose, amino acids, salts, and major amount of water, are selectively reabsorbed flows along the tube. Now, let's understand the Bowman's capsule. If you get confused, Bowman you say it's like a structure is bow. It's cup shape structure. So Bowman's cup shape structure, and the arteries come is called afferent, and the arteries goes out. These are the efferent. I have purposefully draw it smaller. Now the arteries here, they form these small capillaries, and through these capillaries the filtration product goes into it, which contains glucose, amino acids, salts, etc., and water, which are then again during this flow gets selectively reabsorbed. Like glucose is selectively reabsorbed, amino acid which is necessary selectively reabsorbed. So why this is selective reabsorption is necessary? Let's understand this. If all the things get filtered out, what will remain for your body's nutrition? Nothing will remain for your body's nutrition. So the kidney, what it does, the necessary molecules or necessary things, they get selectively reabsorbed. Why they have been selectively reabsorbed? Okay, if all the products have been reabsorbed, what would be the problem? the urea, uric acid, etc. would also get absorbed, and the toxicity level will become more and more vulnerable. So they have selectively reabsorbed the necessitic entities only. Now, the amount of water reabsorbed depends on how much excess water there is in the body and how much dissolved waste there is in excreted. The urine forming in each kidney eventually enters long tube, the ureter. From the filtrate, it finally comes to the ureter, which connects the kidneys to the urinary bladder. Urine is stored in the urinary bladder until the pressure of the expanded bladder leads to the urge to pass it out through urethra, as I have already explained. The bladder is a muscular. So you remember urinary bladder is a muscular organ. Urinary bladder is a muscular organ, and as it is a muscular organ, so it is under control of which system? Nervous system, as I have already mentioned. We can easily control the urge of urinate. Now, the unit of nephron is there. Afferent arterioles, efferent arterioles. You just remember is a renal artery, renal vein, Bowman's capsule. This is the glomerulus. This whole structure is the glomerulus. If they ask you to draw the glomerular structure, then you have to draw this, and a whole nephron you have to draw all this structure. Now coming to a extra topic, which is hemodialysis, which is a very important topic of medical science nowadays, and this is a life-saving procedure for many nephrotic patients. Nephrotic means kidney-related disease patients. Now, kidneys are vital organs for survival. Several factors like infections, injury, restricted blood flow to the kidneys reduce activity of the kidneys. This leads to accumulation of poisonous waste in the body, which can even lead to death. In case of kidney failure, an artificial kidney can be used. An artificial kidney is a device to remove artificial kidneys contain nitrogenous waste products from the blood through dialysis. Artificial kidneys contain number of tubes which are semi-permeable lining suspended in a tank filled with dialysing fluid. The fluid is dialysing fluid. Now, this fluid has the same osmotic pressure as blood except that is devoid of nitrogenous waste. The dialysing fluid is devoid of which component? Nitrogenous waste. During this process, the waste products from the blood pass into the dialysing fluid by diffusion, and the purified blood is pumped back into the patient. This is similar to the function of kidney, but it is different since there is no reabsorption involved. Normally, in a healthy adult, the initial filtrate in the kidneys is about 180 liters daily. So, this 180 liters should not confuse you. Volume of blood, how much it is? Around 5. So how it is 180 liter filtration? Okay. If this 5 liter blood goes to heart, and from the heart the blood vessels, then to the kidneys. Okay. Now the heart is pumping the 5 liter blood again and again in each cycle. So blood is again and again going to the kidneys, going to the heart, and this cycle repeats. So the kidneys in the whole as a whole filters 180 liter, but urination is different. That is 1 to 2 liter. Okay, urination is different, filtration is different. Okay, you remember. For simplification, I can tell you that in a home filter, suppose it is a home filter of capacity 25 liter. 25 liter water is there. Filter the water, but you drink how much? 5 liter. So the filtrate is 25 liter, but you did only 5 liter. That is what it has been mentioned in a easier form. So I hope it is clear and you will not get confused. Okay, now coming to the next page. Excretion in plants. Now, for plants, they have different strategies. Plants use completely different strategies for excretion. Oxygen itself can be thought of as a waste product generated during photosynthesis. We have discussed earlier how plants deal with oxygen and carbon dioxide. They get rid of excess water by transpiration. You have to remember this word, transpiration. Earlier we have discussed about transpiration. For other waste, plants use the fact of many other tissues consist of dead cells and they can even lose some parts as leaves. Many plant waste products are stored in the cellular vacuoles. Waste products may be stored in the leaves as it fall off, and other waste products are stored in resins and gums. So resins and gums we found in plants are nothing but waste products. You have to remember this. Especially in old xylem. Plants also excrete some waste substances into the soil around them. So you have to remember this structure, xylem and phloem. So let's talk about organ donation. Organ donation is a generous act of donating an organ to a person who suffers from non-function of organs. Donation of an organ may be done by the consent of the donor and his family. Anyone, regardless of age or gender, can become an organ donor and tissue donor. The organ transplants can save or transform the life of a person. Transplantation is required because the recipient means who have received the organ. Okay. Who has received the particular organ. Now, it has been damaged or has been failed by disease or injury. An organ transplantation, the organ is surgically removed from one person, organ donor, and transplanted to the another person, the recipient. Common transplantations include corneas, kidneys, heart, liver, pancreas, lungs, intestine, bone marrow. You have to remember this common transplantation. Most organ and tissue donations occur just after the donor has died or when the doctor declares a person brain dead. But in some cases, like liver, part of liver, kidney, lung, etc., tissues can be donated while the donor is still alive. So you have to remember, an organ donation is a very important topic nowadays. And you have to go through this chapter. In case of any doubt, you can contact me in my Instagram handle. Take care. Bye bye. If you like the video, please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.